Jesus is very clear here that in the very last days, there's going to be people that claim to have a relationship with Him. The problem with with what I'm, the problem with, I don't say the problem with this, but the problem with modern day Christianity, if you will, is there's going to be a lot of people that profess to have a relationship with Jesus, but most of their relationship is all lip service. They've never said when He spoke in John chapter 3, when He told Nicodemus, He said, "You must be born again." He also told us, He said, that people draw near me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. See, having a relationship with Jesus isn't just about coming to church on Sundays. It's not just about paying tithes and offerings. It's not just about saying that you're a Christian because you were born into a Christian family. It's not just about occasionally, attending a service on Christmas or Easter or things like that. It's not something that you're born into. Being a Christian is about having a deep personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And so when Jesus tells us here, He says that in the last days, there are going to be many people who profess to know Him. There are going to be people who call Him Lord. There are going to be people who profess to do works in the name of Jesus, and He's still going to say, "Depart from me, you workers of iniquity, I never knew you." There's a very important thing that we see here that Jesus spoke these words because what He then goes on to tell us then is He talks about the foundation that was laid in their relationship. Do you have something to say? Okay. He talks about the relationship, though. He talks about the foundation that was laid in the building in this relationship. Because He says those people who profess to know Him, He says that they built their house upon sand. There was no foundation there. We know the Bible tells us that Jesus Christ is the foundation that is laid. He is the chief cornerstone. It tells us over and again in many different scriptures that Jesus Christ is the chief cornerstone. He is the foundation. He is the rock that we must build upon. In order for us to continue in our walk, in our Christian walk here in this life, we have to have the correct foundation that is laid. Before you build any building, the first thing that has to be done is there has to be a proper foundation. And to be honest with you, I've seen it take longer, and sometimes in some of these buildings, to lay the foundation of a building than it does to actually build the entire building because it's such an important part. Ensure that the ground below is not going to sink. You have to ensure that the foundation is stable enough to withstand things. You have to ensure that what you're building upon that foundation is going to be able to, the foundation is going to be able to withstand it. You have to ensure that the foundation is steady, that it's not going to fall apart. And so when Jesus begins to tell us here, He says that in the last day, there's going to be people that profess to know me, and yet I'm going to tell them, "Depart from me, because you work iniquity. I never knew you."
This is why it's the bench wet.
Because you didn't build a proper foundation. Now I don't know what your relationship is with God, where you stand with Him. That's between you and Him. That's not my business.
No, why did you get on my arm?
But I can tell you right now that the Bible is very clear that we have to build upon the proper foundation. And He goes on here and He says this in verse 24: "Whosoever hears these things of mine and does them, I will
That's some
liken unto
rude,
a
my
certain
friend.
wise
Shut
man,
up.
which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came,
It's crazy.
and the winds blew and beat upon the house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon the rock."
Please.
And it says, "And everyone that hears these things of mine and does them not, he shall be likened unto a foolish man, which has built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it." My friends, there is a great storm coming one day. All of this that we see in life will cease to exist. Everything that you see, everything around you, your personal possessions, your livelihoods, friends, family, at
Don't worry,
some
we
point
got
or another,
support.
We ain't
all of
doing
those
this
things will
inside
cease
a
to
church.
exist.
No.
And it's going to come down to one of two things. Did you build your foundation upon rock, or did you build it upon sand?
Q, nothing's happening.
I encourage people today to search your hearts and see where your relationship is with Jesus,
Don't listen to him.
where your relationship is with God. Because as you can clearly see here, the
Can
Bible
y'all
tells
sit
us
the
that Jesus
bro?
Christ
Like, what is y'all's
is going to be
problem?
people that profess to know Him, that He will turn Is your relationship with Jesus, is it just a mere lip service? Do you profess to know God because you were born as a Christian, your family was Christians, grandma and grandpa was Christians? Do you profess to know God because you occasionally attend church on Sunday? Or do you have a deep personal relationship with him? Is he someone you consider a friend, a brother, that you can count on, that you can rely on, no matter what happens in life, that you can call out on him and you know he'll be near?